It was last night that we highlighted an incredibly important story for you. 60 House Republicans, 6-0, are lobbying the administration to ease Trump's China tariffs. Again, no words. There is zero reason to do this, especially as China is about to get huge PR by hosting the genocide games. But they're not alone. Both Pelosi and some Senate Republicans are helping as well. Here to explain all this dynamic, Indiana Congressman Jim Banks, chairman of the Republican Study Committee. Congressman, Republican voters coast to coast have no reason to support candidates who are soft on China and want to add to our trade deficit by easing these tariffs.
Well, Laura, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you see the House Democrats introduce a very weak China bill of their own. And you're right, across the board, there are still Chamber of Commerce type Republicans who are weak on China, who expose themselves every single day on issues like these. We have to do more to hold China accountable. We can't pass bills like the fake China bill that Nancy Pelosi and Adam Kinzinger and others in the House are pushing forward that mentions coral reefs more than it mentions China. So beware of these types of efforts. A Republican Study Committee, we're fighting against it. This particular bill actually funds the UN Climate Fund. It rewards woke universities and the National Science Foundation. It advances critical race theory by creating a chief diversity officer at the National Science Foundation. It does nothing to hold China accountable. That's why we have to defeat efforts like these.
Yeah, well, this is from some of the highest levels of the Senate. These efforts to ease the tariffs. They never liked Trump's tariffs. They were exceptionally effective, but they never liked them because they're used to getting pushed by the Business Roundtable, Wall Street, and of course the Chamber of Commerce to allow for the easy offshoring of American jobs and American manufacturing. So that's been a problem for the Republican Party and was a congressman before Trump. And Trump tapped into that blue-collar sensibility that I think sustains the party today unless the party leadership sells us out again. That's the concern, and I'm hearing it everywhere I travel.
I hear it everywhere I go as well. President Trump taught us this. I mean, he was elected on a platform to hold China accountable. And here we are a year after President Trump has left office, and we have done nothing to hold China accountable. We haven't studied we haven't held them accountable for blocking any studies into the origins of COVID. We haven't held them accountable for what they've done to wreck the American economy and put America on our knees economically. We haven't held them accountable as they reached to invade Taiwan and deter them from doing that, as President Trump did over 4 years. That's what's startling and troubling about this moment that we find ourselves in, with weak leadership at the very top of our government. We have to do more to hold China accountable. And that's what we're trying to do in the Republican Study Committee, at the same time as opposing some of these weak efforts that reward China rather than do anything to hold them accountable.
Anything that Adam Kinzinger and Nancy Pelosi are for, that's just an easy primer against. Congressman, I need to get to this, though, because the president had what can only be described as a really bizarre call with Ukraine's president today. He told the country to prepare for impact, but then CNN and some of the GOP reacted by being more concerned about, well, the isolationists at home. Watch.
Where do you think this line of thinking comes from? Is it a remnant of the Trump administration? Is it a growing influence of a isolationist or libertarian movement?
This is a troubling debate that we're having. If we can't stand, people look to the United States and look to Lady Liberty for the understanding that we stand for democracy. When we cease to be for that, then our own values are at risk.
Congressman, I mean, we like Congressman Turner a lot, but what is he talking about? Americans are looking at our southern border and seeing it wide open. We got like 2 million people came here, and they're being transported all over the country. And now we're supposed to defend Ukraine's border when Germany doesn't care. Germany is sending 5,000 helmets to Ukraine. So what is this? This is the revenge of the Bushes again? What's going on?
Well, first of all, President Biden and the Biden White House needs to release the transcript of the call with Zelensky. We have no idea what was said on this call, and there's no doubt that it was bizarre because it involves this president, which everything that he does is bizarre. But we can't afford to fight wars and secure the borders of foreign countries when we can't secure the border of our own country, and that needs to be our focus at the moment.
Well, Congressman, certainly we can do things to help Ukraine without getting involved in a full-scale military conflict with Russia, but we appreciate your leadership on this.